Fang turns to look at you. Don't come then. I won't force you. You stand across from each other in the corridor. What is it then, sleeper? You coming or not? Fang, you've helped me so much. You said that you're gonna help me in exchange for doing this. You're gonna get my chip removed. So I have to. I'm coming. Let's go show this shithead some consequences. He strides to the shipyard entrance and pushes through the doors. A web of corridors lead through the complex, snatches of the construction bay always appearing through the windows. Ships are suspended like whale corpses, skeletal imposing. Why we think of whale corpses of all things? That's such a weird thing to think of, especially since we live in space. Have we even seen a whale corpse ever? Fang seems to know exactly where he's going. And before long you cross into a huge dry dock locked to one side of the sidereal horizon. A network of platforms and scaffolding clings to the ship's hull, filled with workers and equipment. The sound is stretched out by the vast space so that the welding, cutting, and sealing seems to come from everywhere at once. I'm really worried that what I'm doing right now with Fang is going to affect that dad and child. I wouldn't be surprised if, like, in a game like this, whatever side you choose might affect the other. And those guys work at this place, right? So, like, it might affect them, and I would rather save them over you. Sorry, Fang, but he's got a kid, and she looks so sad, and I want to help save her. Both you and Fang spot them at the same time. A group walking slowly across the gantry, and at the front, two men, one gesturing toward the ship and the other stick-thin, cleanly dressed, with a shock of gray hair. Hardin. You can tell by the hard dick in his pants. It's always hard. Yeah, sometimes it's kind of semi, but it's always a little bit hard. You and Fang say his name in unison, and Fang sets off up the staircase to the gantry, with you following behind. As you come to the same level, the group is passing closer, the foreman gesturing to the work being done through the dock, and Hardin nodding along. Hardinhurst! Fang shouts across the noise, taking you by surprise. Okay, this is supposed to be a sneak attack. Sneak attack! Fang, maybe we could have, like, kept quiet until we, like, snuck up on him and then, like, grabbed him and ran away. You didn't need to announce yourself in front of everybody. That's probably not the way to go, but you're probably very emotional right now, and that's the anger talking. I get it. His voice bounces and comes back in a rippling echo. The figures turn. That's the guy? That's the guy we're scared of? He looks like a little punk. I ain't scared of him. And he's covering his hard dick. He's literally covering it. How did we even know that was him? Yes? Hardin asks quizzically, raising an eyebrow. That was not the voice I expected from you, sir. He glances between you and Fang, and you see his gaze linger on your body. Unsure of why a sleeper might be in this place. I work here. I do, sometimes. I worked here today, literally before I came. You're a traitor, Hardin. A solemn executive who tried to hide here among its victims. Fang's voice is steady, strong. You stand for everything the Eye was rebuilt in the shadow of, against everything Erland stood for, everything Havanage stands for. You have no place on this station. What do you guys think about this? Do you guys think that there should be, like, a fair chance for them to get back in the game and, like, stay alive? Or do you think somebody should be killed for being, like, this way? Like, think about the slave owners back in the olden day. Like, obviously slave owning is bad and terrible and reprehensible. But back then it was just normal. So do you think that those people should just have all been killed? Or do you think they should have just, you know, got rid of their slaves and abolished slavery and then continued on their life and lived a better life? I think this guy is probably a terrible man, but I don't know him personally, and I'm basing that a lot on Fang, and he seems insanely biased. I don't think he's ever met this man in his life. He was just born into this world after everything. So I don't know. It's hard to tell. For a moment, stillness descends on the group, as if everyone is held in place by the rattle of construction. Hardin laughs. Well, good to meet you, too. He glances around at those around him. Some are smiling, the others nervous. They know. You're from the systems branch, are you not? Asks Hardin, inspecting Fang's clothing. Fang turns to the foreman. You need to call your security. This man is a corporate agent. I think they all know. I think they're in on this. They all, like, just seem to be smiling, like, be like, ha ha ha, we already know this. We're letting him get away with this. The foreman glances between Fang and Hardin, his hands drumming at his sides. Hardin leans towards him and says something inaudible. The foreman nods, so they're all working together. Maybe they're his, like, slaves, like maybe he's holding them against their will because he has, like, power and they're all scared of him. I don't know, but they're working with him. It's true. I'm gonna just agree. He's my friend. I'm sticking by his side through everything. We all know no one else will because this room is a fucking mess and he's never gonna find love. But the best he can get is a friend in me.
What's going on here?
You've got a friend in me?
As you begin speaking, Hardin turns his attention to you. And what would a sleeper know about that? You accuse me of being a corporate agent? What are you if not exactly that? I'm a human. Don't be mean to me, Hardin. He turns around at the group, who are already eyeing you with suspicion. You're a product of S and Orp. You have no place in the Havanaugh shipyard. Who knows what signals you're sending back to your makers? I am sending signals back to my makers. You're right about that, Hardin. But we're gonna get rid of that signal, please. A murmur of approval runs through the group. Oh no, they all hate me. I shouldn't have come to this thing. Frang holds up a stick of memory. You guessed right. I am systems, and I have records that link you directly to Solem right here. He turns to the foreman again. So once again, I'm asking you to take this man into custody of the shipyard. The foreman remains still. They're not going to listen to us. They never listen to us. Nobody ever listens. In these scenarios, every government is corrupt. Never go to the government with anything. Especially if you live in a society like this. It's just they aren't going to listen. They're all working with the bad guys. Hardin's voice is calm, measured. If you have such data, that's not calm and measured. What the fuck was that? If you have such data, why hasn't it been submitted as a members meeting for the proper review? Nothing about this man is calm and measured. This game is lying. I got nothing to hide, unlike a man who does not announce his name, who enters my shipyard with corporate property in tow, and tries to turn me, my own men against me. God damn it, he is a good manipulator. But we have the proof. We have literal evidence right in our hand. Just look at the proof, please. Jesus Christ, these people are idiots. You hear it now, the echoing sound of boots on walkways coming from all angles at once and then settling behind you. Please, says Hardin, submit the data through the correct channels. Then we can talk. For now, however, you must leave. He's like, I'm gonna get my fucking lawyer and I'm gonna protect myself from this shit. And you're gonna look like a dumbass and then we're all gonna fucking... Me and my friend, Fang over there, are gonna be fucked. And not in the fun way. He gestures behind you to the security detail. Their hands on boxy black sidearms at their sides. Fang spits. Hardin, you shithead. You can't wriggle out of this one. The security officer draws their weapon and levels it. Fang turns and stares him down. Yeah, we need to calm down, Fang. He's right. We can do this through the proper legal way. Like, we don't need to attack him. That'll just look bad on us. We should just breathe, calm down, go through the proper legal things, and we will get him. Calm, Fang. You look at Fang. He shakes his head and puts a hand on your shoulder. Let's go, says Fang, and he pushes through the security, heading back down the walkway. Once security has walked you out of the shipyard and nudged your back into the corridor, Fang picks up pace. You try to keep up, and he slips into the shadows of the entrance. Fang is grinning ear to ear. Oh, he's so proud of himself. He's so fucking proud of himself. How's he grinning ear to ear and his smile not falling off his face? You know, Sleeper, sometimes people are exactly how you expect them to be. Something pings in his pocket and he takes it out. On the slate, a web of connections starts drawing itself out, stretching to a set of points around the ring. Got him, mutters Fang. What? What do you have? He's so satisfied with himself because he was right about this guy, right? This is probably why he does everything he's ever done in his life is to get revenge. Which is a very terrible way of living life. You should never live life for revenge because it's the most empty thing ever. Like, by the time it's over, you're just dead inside. There's no point If something happened to your kid, like they got kidnapped and your goal is revenge, that's a little different. Depends how far the revenge is. Of course, you should want to get the guy who kidnapped the kid put behind bars, get them killed or whatever else, for the sake of them not kidnapping anybody else and all that other stuff. But if your goal is just like, he kidnapped my child, I want to kill him personally because I hate him, I get it. I do. I get the mentality. I would absolutely be the same way if somebody hurt like my nephew or my nieces. It's still not a good way to live life, you know? Especially in this scenario where it's not even directly it is directly affecting him, this place and what they did, but it's not like it's his mortal enemy or something, or somebody that kidnapped his child. What is that? That, Sleeper, is something our worm added to Hardin's personal slate. We're tracking his outgoing messages. Fang's grin looks ghostly in the uplight of his screen. So yeah, as I guess, we are tracking the guy. The old ways are best. Spook them good enough and they'll give the game away. We're gonna ghost face his ass? He jabs at the slate, and you see the web is being drawn over a map of the ring, lines bouncing from point to point. All these dots, these are Hardin's buddies, the ones he is messaging right now. We're gonna go find them all. What are we gonna do to them? Kill them? What are we doing? That was on purpose? Of course. Hardin isn't working alone. We need the full set or nothing. Fang glances around and slips the slate back into his pocket. We better split up for now, Sleeper. But this is exactly what we need. Good hunting. So, we're gonna go take out all of the corrupt guys. Where is my tracker fixer, please? You promised? With a pat on your shoulder, Fang drifts away, back into the flow of people around the shipyard entrance. You watch him go, unsure whether to be angry or impressed. So you're not going to fix my tracker until we get every single one of them? Is that the deal? Because that's not what I agreed to. Ever since your trip to the shipyard, Fang has been missing from his bay. What's going on? So we have to wait now for that. Oh God. I was really banking on that so that I wouldn't have to pay this guy. You see Ethan at the distance, shouting from the bar for more drinks. Oh no. He's still drinking forever. I mean, I can't do anything. I just have to sleep. I'm fucked. Fucked in the ass. With a huge maggot-infested dick. I need to eat. Extract that data. I got another encrypted key. I don't know what to use those on, though. Hunter's coming. So am I. Oh no, he's gonna come get me after this one. Do I want to do that to my life? I kind of want to do this one. He's coming. I got some Cairo for that. He's coming for me. Oh no. Oh no, Hunter's back. Those familiar threads wrap around you, bind you, test you.
Entity, submit.
Hunter's strange head bobs in your vision.
Your ally in the sealed dock cannot save you.
Yes, he can. Yes, he can. What ally? I have an ally in the sealed dock? Huh. In that globbed head, you see whirling strings of data. So many spinning there that they threaten to tear through the thin skin and whip out into the void around. What happened to this creature? Yeah, I feel kind of bad for him. Jesus Christ, he used to be like a dog. And he had like an actual head maybe, but now it's got like a hole and tentacles coming out of it. It's a cool design. It's creepy as fuck. The threads squeeze and you lose any sympathy you might have had. You must escape. Yeah, we gotta kill it. You lash out once more, pushing Hunter back, severing threads that regrow as fast as they are broken. As you slip away, you realize you have to find a way to deal with Hunter once and for all. This is getting too dangerous. Yes, it is. What do I want to do with my money? Oh, I got some data, didn't I? Yatagon data. I don't know where to put that. I feel like it would be linked to this chick. It is. Okay, so should I do that there? There was another place that needed it, wasn't there? I'm gonna put it in here. Let's use my Yatagon data. Fuck yeah. The acquisitions officer eyes you suspiciously as you download the data to her terminal. This is more than she was expecting. Cool. Ethan says you have 2 cycles to pay the tab. He calls it being fair-minded. Oh, I have 2 cycles? Then I'm not going to pay the tab yet just because, like, I think I can. But also, like, why would I pay it now? Let's just go eat. We're about to finish this thing and be his friend and be a fungus fan. Plus, look, I needed food anyway. Hi, Emphis. You want to talk to me again now?
Sleeper!
Emphis calls out to you, a booming voice that echoes through the corridor.
Tell me a story.
He throws a handful of chopped mushrooms into his wok. Now they're mushrooms? Now you're calling them mushrooms after all of this fungus talk? After all of this trauma you put me through? Now you call them mushrooms? I've had nightmares the last few days about this fungus. I had a nightmare last night. There was fungus everywhere. The fire leaping up to meet the oil.
I see you. Cycle in, cycle out, but we never speak. Tell me a story.
Oh, he wants to talk now. What kind?
Any kind.
He pauses to drizzle something from a plastic bottle into the wok.
But one of yours.
He looks at you.
Nothing stolen.
You pause, the spices rich in your nostrils, and think about the kind of story you'd like to tell Emphis. Alright, so he wants another personal story about me. He already learned about my robot dick, lack thereof, and he already learned about everything else. What else is there in my life? You look at Emphis, the listener, and imagine he has heard it all before. Perhaps he would enjoy a strange story, something with some spice. Ooh, tell him a ghost story? Nah, ghost stories are not real. He said he wants something real. Let's tell him about our weird-ass dreams. All the sleepers, you tell Emphis, had dreams. Some were simple, memories left over from the emulation process that had become tangled up in their minds and would come out when they slept. It wasn't rare to hear a sleeper in the dorm scream or cry out in the night. That's fucking sad. Poor sleepers. They don't deserve this. Like, I get it. You want to use us, use our bodies and all that stuff, but this is not something we signed up for. We did not know this was happening. But your dreams, those gray skeletal after images of system and structures, of threads and patterns, weren't like the others. Huh, so we talked with the other sleepers and we were all talking about our dreams, and my dreams are really odd. They weren't memories or nightmares. They were reflections of reality, distorted, yes, but somehow true. You learned back then to keep quiet about them, to let them flow through your mind like water. People didn't like to hear about my dreams. They thought that I was a weirdo and they secluded me. If I talked about my dreams, they made me go sit in the corner with a dunce cap on, and they were like, loser, loser, losers gotta lose your dreams, loser dreams. That's what they did, Emphis. Can you believe that happened to me?